You've been the focus of a number of articles. They're making a lot of claims about you.
I don't know if people realize how painful it is to read some of these things, to portray me as someone who is out to take advantage. What I'm doing is fighting for the rights of the patients.
Do you think some of it has to do with bias? How can a woman be on the forefront of medical research?
And I also tend to look young female, plays for an interesting story in the media. And I've really dedicated my career to studying stem cells and the body's natural healing. And I have to remember all of the patients who are counting on me to have the voice when they don't have the voice.
What kind of percentage successes have you guys had with these procedures?
In the largest orthopedic study that was done, 93% of patients had improvement with one treatment.
93?
93! There is no medication, surgery, or procedure that has those numbers with the low side effect profile.
In tens of thousands of patients, we can only point to a handful of adverse events which get replayed on the front page of the newspaper, and I get crucified for.
About you?
Medications can be approved with 20% adverse event rate.
In
They
tens of
also
thousands
accept
of
deaths.
patients,
Death
we
can be a
only
side
point to
effect?
a
We're talking
handful of
about
adverse
FDA-approved
events which
drugs.
get replayed
Really
on the
shocking.
front page
If
of
you
the
were to get the
newspaper,
stem
and
cells,
I get crucified
what is the
for.
worst that could happen?
The body throws them away and ignores it.
So no harm.
Compared with replacing a knee with a metal device, boy, I'd take a stem cell treatment any day of the week.
Once you start getting surgeries, once they cut you open and go in, you're never 100%.
Medication is so quickly dispensed here. I just didn't want to get caught up in a situation where it would become habit forming for me.
So after your stem cell treatment, were there any side effects?
There were no negative side effects.
Where would you put your pain level now?
I don't have any pain now.
0? You went from 8.5 to 0.
Yes, I did.
I never in a million years thought I would get the relief that I did. The pain was it was like miraculously gone. I could cry to think if this could be taken away from me.
If the FDA wins, we're basically telling people we could care less about your health because the United States is not willing to have the best medical care in the world.
Do you think it'd be worth it to just give up?
When I say I want to quit, my husband says, you get it together and you get in there. If for some reason Kristen Camella or US Stem Cell or whoever has to go away, there are 10,000 plus patients that received therapies using the protocols that we developed, and nobody can take that away from me.
Deep stuff. Hey guys, how's it going? So that is Dr. Kristen Camella, well, I think that was our lawyer, her agent, something like that, talking. Anyway, so basically, Dr. Kristen Camella, you can see My Cells, My Choice up above there, is a doctor that learned how to use fat cells to extract stem cells. Extremely revolutionary stuff, and she's experimenting with this thing called regenerative medicine, which has amazing medical properties, something that is almost inhuman levels of healing. And so it can save hundreds of thousands, millions of lives. But the government, the FDA, wants to make it illegal. They want to say that, they need to run tests on it because, and regulate it, definitely, because, the thing that comes from our own bodies shouldn't be something that we can just freely use, I mean, it's not like we own those cells, it's not like, my body, my choice, or anything like that, right? So, it's my body, my choice is supported by the government as long as it's death. But if it has to do with life, they want to get a monopoly on it. They want to really get a hold of that. So, anyways, if you wanted to help her out, if you wanted to find out some more information, My Cells, My Choice, you could check that out up here in the top. And we can go ahead and move on from there. I got a couple of other things I was going to hit on. I'm not really sponsored by anyone in particular. I just kind of hit some causes that I like, and I let you guys know. I'm going to start letting you guys know at the beginning of streams, some information about what's going on, because most of you guys get your information from BuzzFeed and some other sources, and I think it'd be interesting if you know, I gave you guys a little bit of information that didn't come from just one place or just one country, because I tend to pay attention to things that happen outside of the United States. And so I can give you a little bit of extra insight, and then you guys don't take my word. Go research for yourself, and you can find out information for yourself. I want to give a shout out to Self here. So Self, you can find her at Sewer Nugget on Twitter. There's some interviews with her. There's some really interesting stuff. She's made some amazing videos. She's a 14-year-old kid, and she lays things out. You know, the truth pisses people off sometimes, but sometimes it makes people better. Sometimes it sets you free. Sometimes you can even, you know, get a laugh or two. And so she's a very non-serious, but at the same time cuts into some really awesome just points. So I think it's great. If you guys wanted to check her out, at Sewer Nugget Twitter, I just wanted to give her a shout out here. So I got that covered. And I also want to kind of hit on another topic here. I actually was talking to Harrison Smith. He works, he's a reporter. You can find him online at night, at Harrison H. Smith. You know, I mentioned that I had Asperger's. He says, you know, thank you. I never really graduated either. Luckily, the internet generally doesn't really care about that sort of thing. And that's kind of the deal, is I want to get into journalism. I need to stop letting the fact that school, you know, destroyed my education. I need to stop letting that hold me back. And so I said, you know, it's a massive topic. Something I've been observing is this, the outsides of society, you know, living outside of society in my crazy Asperger world that doesn't compromise, really. It starts off with our personality type. The personality type of somebody who has Asperger's can be really amazing. Some say it's the next human advancement in evolution. Ben Franklin was also somebody with Asperger's. But the thing is, it can also be weaponized. So people on the left, you know, just some people, not everybody on the left is bad, keep that in mind, is very good at infiltration, and they use organizations to fit their ends or their agendas. They did this with the civil rights movement. You know, they'd get a bunch of people together, and now what they're doing is they're taking blacks and they're taking all these other people of other races and bringing them all together, and they're saying, you're colored, and then we're going to speak for all of you. And so they try to centralize everything, and that way they can kind of control the flow of things a lot easier when humans are a lot more complicated, and we need to address issues one thing at a time, not one-size-fits-all solutions. That's not how humans work. We're unique, we're different, we're special. Every single one of us is different, and so we all need different approaches. So using organizations to fit their ends, they claim to give us extra help with our education, and in reality it's about abuse, especially to those who are nonverbal. Then we're marched around with logos, puzzle pieces, and things all over us and told they will speak for us. Why? Because it's about control. That's why. Pavlovian education. They hit us hard and have us in school all day and create a very hard narrative. And then we solidify like concrete and become super soldiers who are highly intelligent, great with computers, and totally loyal. I said super soldiers twice. Ever wonder why Silicon Valley has the highest number of us? All crowded into technologically advanced smart city super centers? It's because I can research 5 to 10 times faster visually than a neurotypical person. I'm about half as fast verbally hearing, but visually I'm super quick. And it's kind of like X-Men, except they make us feel disabled and worthless. And so these Autism Speaks areas, they're Pavlovian education systems, very hardcore, very draconian. Look up the word if you don't know what draconian is. You can learn a lot of stuff. And what they do is they then get a grip on these kids and they train them to be these Silicon Valley moderators. You know, so they become, I mean, they set their world view up from a super early age to concrete that in place. Because our brains will just stay with that. Once you figure out what you know is right, you become kind of a sociopath, but for topics, for concepts, for grand concepts, grand designs. We love big pictures, and so if you can kind of train us the right way, you get these super soldiers that come out that just, you can't beat us, man. And so, and unfortunately, I'm outnumbered. So, and we're not very tribal. We're not very good at working with other people. So getting us to work together, man, that's a miracle in and of itself. I mean, it takes a lot. So, but anyways, so that's enough of that. I just wanted to hit on those topics. Now I'm going to pop onto the chats here. So give me just a second while I set things up. I got some some amazing, excellent, eclectic music for you here.
Gather round, ye lads and lasses, set ye for a while, and hearken to me mournful tale about the Emerald Isle. Let's all raise our glasses high to friends and family gone, and lift our voices in another Irish drinking song. Consumption took me mother and me father got the pox. Me brother drank the whiskey till he wound up in a box. Me other brother in the troubles met with his demise. Me sister has forever closed her smiling Irish eyes.
Now everybody's died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. We'll dance and sing and fight until the early morning light, then we'll throw up, pass up, wake up, and then go drinking once again.
Kenny was killed in Kilkenny, and Clare she died in Clare. Tip and Tipperary died out in the Derriere. Shannon jumped into the river, Shannon back in June. Ernie fell into the urn, and Tom is in the tomb. Cleanliness is godliness, me Uncle Pat would sing. He broke his neck a slipping on a bar of Irish Spring. O'Grady, he was 80, though his bride was just a pup. He died upon the honeymoon when she got his Irish up.
Now everybody's died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. We'll dance and sing and fight until the early morning light, then we'll throw up, pass up, wake up, and then go drinking once again.
Joe Murphy fought with Riley near the cliffs of Alderney. He took out his shillelagh and he stabbed him in the spleen. My crazy Uncle Mike thought he was a leprechaun, but in fact he's just a leopard, and his arms and legs are gone. When Timmy Johnson broke his neck, it was a crying shame. He wasn't really Irish, but he went to Notre Dame. McNamara crossed the street and by a bus was hit, but he was just a Scotsman, so nobody gave a shit.
Now everybody's died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. We'll dance and sing and fight until the early morning light, then we'll throw up, pass up, wake up, and then go drinking once again.
Me drunken Uncle Brendan tried to drive home from the bar. The road rose up to meet him when he fell out of his car. Irony was what befell me great-grand-uncle Sam. He choked upon the very last potato in the land. Connor lived in Ulster town, he used to smuggle arms, until the British killed him and cut off his lucky charms. And dear old Father Flanagan, who left the Lord's employ, drunk on sacramental wine beneath the altar, boy.
Now everybody's died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. We'll dance and sing and fight until the early morning light, then we'll throw up, pass up, wake up, and then go drinking once again.
Someday soon I'll leave this world of pain and toil and sin. The Lord will take me by the hand to join all of me kin. Me only wish is when the Saviour comes for me and you.
He kills the cast of Riverdance and Michael Flatley too. Now everybody's died, so until our tears are dried, we'll drink and drink and drink and drink, and then we'll drink some more. We'll dance and sing and fight until the early morning light, then we'll throw up, pass up, wake up, and then go drinking once again. Then we'll throw up, pass up, wake up, and then go drinking once again. Then we'll throw up, pass up, wake up, and then go drinking once again.
Anyways, all right. Welcome to the world, well, the universe of space engineers. So I built myself this fancy, super duper miner, camouflage black to match, you know, space at the moment. A lot of fun. Just gotta wait for it to load. Hang on. It's processing some ores a little while ago, so I should have some uraniums, some nickels, and some irons. I'm gonna go for some silicones, and yeah, just kind of do that. After I get that and some magnesium, maybe I can start to do a few upgrades on my ship with weapons. So yeah, Basically, I'm just rolling around in an asteroid field. And I'm mining, so... So here's the thing, like, people always talk about my ships being ugly, but they work. They totally work, they do the trick, so I don't care what you have to say. I know that hurts. I know your opinion not mattering hurts, but it's just the truth, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're hurt by the truth. Anyways, there's nothing more here. I was just hiding. Oh yeah, there's this guy, Hydra, I guess, that is like super powerful. So anyways, I've got about as much experience as this guy does. So I'm gonna take him out. He's famous on Reddit. And so yeah. And Hydra, if you ever hear this stream or if you hear that I'm coming for you, just know I'm gonna film you. I'm gonna film you getting taken out. Your gravity-powered warship is gonna get taken out by my little suicide things or whatever I build. Maybe I'll build something crazy. Maybe I'll build something cheap. Maybe I'll do it really fast before it comes back down. Or maybe I'll take my time and really enjoy it. I don't know. The world. No comments yet, huh? Anything. Nobody's talking about it. I guess I'm just not cool. So, Stonewall Jefferson on Patreon. If you guys want to help support the stream and see more streams and stuff, there's Twitch, there's D-Live, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. Stonewall Jefferson streams on Instagram and Facebook. If you wanted to add that to the group, I can bring you into the group. So yeah, anyway, if you want to help support the stream and help promote me, if you could share me, if you could do watch parties, that's great. Watch parties in groups especially, things like that. That really does a lot to help promote my stream. So if you're going to watch, why don't you host a watch party? But anyway, so thanks for tuning in. I am on all the chats here, so D-Live, YouTube, Facebook. Some chats are supported on my little my little blue thing now. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, we're back. Oop. Let's go see what this guy has. Maybe he's got something I like. Or so, alright. Like I said, you guys are free to chat. I will see it. I will talk back. It shall be fun. Is that a structure? No. It is not. It's just some big asteroids that have been taken out. And yes, if you're curious, that planet is landable. I can totally land on it and do stuff. It's fun. Ooh, that was close. Cobalt? I will need some cobalts. Irons. Please tell me there's an end to it. These are awesome. Give me lots of stuff. But there's something there. What's that? I don't know what that is, but it's colorful. Some nickels. does it have to be something I already have? Magnesiums. Don't have those. I do not. So that is it. That is it. Magnesium. Magnesium. Luckily, I've been really boring already. But I don't know, that's pretty. I can only bore through that much rock. Nah. Cut. Alright. So. Some water. Let's see. Okay, coming up on target. So hi guys, I just want to say thanks for coming on to the channel. Subscribing, following, anything you can do to help out would be appreciated. If you want to help me get started, I am on Patreon as well, Stonewall Jefferson. Stonewall Jefferson streams. So we are almost at destination. Just waiting to this asteroid. Miner here, hawking along. Let's check out our inventory. A lot of uranium. Got some iron, gravel, nickel, silicone, and magnesium. just temporary weapons, but they work. First rule of space simulation, remain directly aiming the target. Welcome to the channel, everybody. So, look for big spots first, because you never know discoloration. Like that. Ah, jackpot! Yes. See, I think going into the rock was a bad idea. Because you find these big spots right here that are just perfect. Ready to be plucked. Yummy. Some more. I just bore holes until I hit stone. So far. Nice. If we don't have leaves, that would be good. This is an essential element for making firearms. Materials for firearms. Oh, hey Sebastian, how you doing, man? How's the child doing? Once upon a time, there was a man who played video games. Long into the night. Oh, I get it. I thought you meant how the child was, and you no longer playing video games. That there was a deeper meaning. Games like this, you just don't win. You just do a little better each time. Ooh, silicones. I see it. Silicones are good. That's what I need next. Ooh, just mining magnesium. Going for it. So yeah, Sebastian, man, how you doing? Doing okay? You gonna turn on sound, or are you just gonna keep typing? Yeah, basically, I just try not to go crazy, you know, with adult content. But other than that, like, you know, regular cursing and stuff like that, yeah, that's not. So, doing pretty good, man. We're just chilling, working. I'm doing some landscape, so found a pretty good job. So people are cool. How you doing, man? How's the kid? That's cool on Facebook style, now. Good job. Zuckerberg did something right. Give him a cookie. Yeah, no, I heard you've been getting pretty serious into the magic stuff. That's kind of cool. I've been thinking about getting back into it. I was thinking maybe I'd try calling EDH my next round, you know? Make a good commander, and then I'll teach Christine how to play too. It'll be a lot of fun. Till then, I just mine magnesium. Get iron, magnesium, silicone. I think that's enough magnesium. I saw some silicones, but I don't know where they went. Silicones are excellent. They make things. Screenshots. I need silicones. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. We could even play over Skype or something too. That'd be fun. Let's see, there's some magnesiums. Unless you can get a gaming computer, man, and just like rock some Space Engineers, Star Citizen, some other games like that. Found the silicones. Let's see. building turrets. Gotta have defenses, you know. I believe in my Second Amendment rights, and so I will build turrets. What? And then that was weird. And since I have no allies, it's me against the world. I have to, do this. Okay. I can just leave my thing on target everything and everyone. It's not me. So. Next. Yeah. I am not very fond of that. I think it is because of my materials. So let's see what I can here. Meanwhile, you can have 10. Maybe it'll get somewhere. Something's wrong with me. So that's a good spot, and this is gonna go. Okay, so. Yeah, okay, man. I'll catch you later, man. I'll probably be going to bed here after a while, but I still gotta work tomorrow. But in fact, I should be asleep, but you know, I'm cool. So, all right. Is this what the cool kids do? They stay awake way late and play video games. Boom. We are set with defenses. I like it. Back up and off. Some people just can't come willy-nilly just take my mine or just be gone, you know. Gotta fight it a little bit at least. Give myself some silly calls.
Status low.
I think I made some good progress, so.
Health critical.
I will catch you guys later. I'm going to let my materials crunch down. I need to head to bed. So, if you'd like to help me out, I will have plenty more streams to come. Hit subscribe, hit follow. I'll be able to see that, as well as some giveaways and things that I'll be doing for various games. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Stonewall Jefferson Streams. I'll be signing off. Oh yeah, I'd like to mention too, there is going to be a Stonewall Jefferson Talks session this Saturday from 9 a.m. Central Standard Time until we are done. It's going to be a session where we have some guest talkers in, and it's more of a journalism type thing that I'm going to be doing, a project. So if you're interested, we are going to be doing that as well. So I'll put up some later announcements for it. You can find that on my Instagram, and I'll have it on Snapchat and everything like that. So, all right, talk to you later.